Hello, everyone. Great to be here, and thank you so much for attending. I wasn't quite sure, I'm a big believer in the power of a headline. There's an old saying in advertising that the headline is the advert for the advert, and it's the most important thing. And I thought with the advert for this, people might think, what? Table tennis? What's that got to do with business? But if you're here and you're listening, then, a big thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. Yeah, so what did I learn from table tennis that could possibly link to now in business and what I do and what I know? Well, in truth, there's a lot. I've got some notes down here. So if you see me looking down, I'm just, going through my notes and making sure that I don't forget anything. So the first thing, I just want to, I suppose, position the idea of a professional table tennis player and what it was like. Firstly, the first thing I'd say, it was blooming tough. It really was. Table tennis is a weird sport. As a spectator sport, it's very, very much a minority sport. It basically doesn't look very good on TV. And actually even watching it is hard because you don't really understand the spins and things like that, that people can get on the ball and why somebody's just appears to have missed it for no apparent reason other than the fact that somebody's, put this amazing spin on the ball and it's carried it off. So, it's not a very good spectator sport, but it is the most played sport in the world. A lot of people think that's fishing, which is actually the UK's number one. But table tennis is the Chinese national sport. And even in this country, where it's a minority sport, try and find someone who's not played table tennis. Nearly everybody has. However, being a professional, let me just tell you what it's not like. It's not like being a professional footballer or tennis player or golfer or any of those sorts of sports. It's tough. It's tough to earn enough money even to survive. And whilst it's a good few years since I was a professional table tennis player, dinosaurs walked the earth when I did. But in truth, I was a full-time professional player from 18 through to about 28. I got to a level where I was ranked, the highest I got ranked was 6 in England, which when you consider, there's 120,000 registered players that play in leagues for clubs and things, wasn't too bad. But my aim was always to be world champion. That was always what I wanted to be. I didn't really, in reality, get anywhere near there. I was too inconsistent. I had my good days and the bad ones. On the good ones, I was pretty good. I beat the world number 3, world number 5. Probably had, I think, 2 more wins against players in the top 20 in the world. I played in the German Bundesliga at table tennis, not at football again, but played Bayern Munich and teams like that. So it was quite a roller coaster, really. And I used to supplement my money by doing table tennis exhibitions in the summer, in the close season for table tennis, around holiday camps. For places like Butlins and Pontins and Warner Holidays and so on and so forth. That was really the only way I could do it, along with a bit of coaching, selling equipment, getting paid for National League matches and things like that. But, it was tough. In today's money, I suppose I earned probably, 25,000, 30,000 a year, something like that. But most of that would go on, traveling to table tennis exhibitions and tournaments and matches and so on and so forth. So that's roughly what it's like. So what did I learn? What did I actually learn? Well, the number one thing I learned, and I think it's number one in so many areas right now for businesses, and that is effort equals results. Effort equals results. That's what I learned. That's one thing that I learned. Now, I know you think, well, I know that, Steve. I know more effort you put in, better results that you get. But the key is, what are you putting effort into? In table tennis, it might be that I'm putting effort into improving my fitness or my forehand or my serve or my return of serve and so on and so forth. For you, I'd suggest that, you're probably thinking, well, he would say that because he's a marketer. But, you know, putting effort into lead generation right now, I think is one of the best things that you can do. And I say that because, you know, it's tougher. That pie has shrank. You know, it's not as big as it was. It's not as easy as it was. And the truth of the matter is, whilst we may be going through, you know, I know we're coming into spring right now, but not from a business sense, I don't think. So, but I do think that, you know, if you keep focusing, if you keep putting time, money, and effort into growing your business and your competitors aren't, then who's going to come out on top when spring arrives, the business spring, if you will? You know, so, you know, that would be probably my number one tip really for today. You know, go and really focus on what's going to get you more business. And obviously, keep the ones you've got as well, working on that and trying to maximize your return on investment from that too. So, you know, I put a lot of effort into table tennis. You know, I often say to people, I started when I was 13 and a half. And by the time I was 18, on my 18th birthday, I played against a guy called Kuo Yu Hua, who was the Chinese world champion, on my 18th birthday. So 4.5 years from beginner to playing the world champion. And the reason I did that was that I practiced every day. And when I say every day, I mean every day. Christmas Day, New Year's Day, my birthday, no matter what, I played every single day for 4.5 years. And sometimes that involved playing in the morning, then again in the afternoon, then again in the evening. Sometimes it was like all day. When my coach came over, we used to start at 8, finish at 5, go and get something to eat, and then go and practice again in the evening. Now, you know, if you think about that from a point of view of, you know, you want to become better at selling, how are you going to do that? Well, I might need some training. I might need to, you know, train myself. You know, I train myself now in sales. I've been doing this just coming up on the 1st of May. I'll have been doing this 28 years, and I still train myself every single day on sales. If you looked at my diary, 7 o'clock in the morning to 7:30, it says sales training. Actually, it says sales and marketing training. So I'm constantly keeping up to date with the latest techniques, which is another thing that was really important in table tennis. In table tennis, it was important to keep up to date with, it's almost like the latest fashion. I'm not talking about the tracksuit that you wore. I'm talking about things like the latest innovation in serving, the latest technique for hitting that backhand, the latest rubbers and things like that, which are the rubbers that you stick on your bat. You know, there were, you know, in my day, there were very, very important and different ways of doing it. You know, without going into it, we discovered, when I say we, the table tennis world discovered that the use of bike glue to glue the rubber onto the blade, onto the wood, speeded up the power that you could get by about 20%. And you know, for players who weren't actually aware of that, which it took time, you know, a few of the top players found it, and then it sort of spread like wildfire, as you can imagine. And if you weren't using that, you know, it made a massive difference, and it enabled us to hit the ball harder and spin it more, and so on and so forth. So that again is really important, I'd say. You know, in the world of marketing, it's keeping up to date with the latest technology. You know, Chat GPT. You know, some people go, well, what's that? You know, if you don't know what that is, that, you know, you go and have a look. Chat GPT, you know, go and have a look at that. Things like geofencing. People go, what's geofencing then? Well, that's been out a few years, but it came out, Google released it during COVID time. And so, you know, it's not really caught on to the level it could. But again, just a fantastic way of marketing your business. So it's really important to be up to date. My next tip is focus on what you're good at. you know, as far as marketing's concerned, yeah, it's important to have multiple streams, win business from LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and so on and so forth. But if you've got too many things, you can't be good at all of them. So whilst I advocate having maybe 5, 6, 7 different ways of marketing your business, I'd say be good at one. Be really good at one. Go and take Facebook advertising or LinkedIn or email or Google AdWords and become what I'd call outstanding, where you stand out. You're better than anybody in your industry. I got a client who a little while ago got his Facebook advertising up to spending £10,000 per month. Why did he do that? Because he was making about 150 grand every month from Facebook advertising. Now, if you can get to that level, that's going to make a massive difference to your business. So we need to become really good at one thing. I've also got down here to do what others won't. That really, I was never one of the most talented players. You know what it's like at sport. Some people, it all comes easy and they're very talented. And, yes, they work hard, but not that hard. But I wasn't like that. I was the one piece of talent I had is I was quick. I was really quick, and I had almost like lightning reactions, because you stood 9 feet away from somebody and they're hitting the ball at you at 60, 70 miles an hour. You've not got much time to think. And so I was good at not thinking and just reacting very quickly and getting the ball back to them, but by the time they'd finished their stroke. So doing what others won't, I think, is really, really important. So whether that's practicing more, whether that's training more, whether that's, picking up the phone and calling people, that's a big one. So many people now go, well, I don't like cold calling. I don't want to pressure people. I post once a month on LinkedIn, but I don't really win any business. There's no wonder you're not doing enough. Generally speaking, I'd say the biggest reason why people don't succeed to the level that they could is they don't do enough. They don't put enough effort in to succeed in their business. Yeah, I know they work hard, they work long hours, but are they doing the right type of work? Are you doing the right type of work? How much time do you spend working on your business? On sales, on marketing, on training yourself. You want a better business, become a better business owner. Remember that saying. That is so powerful. If you want a better business, a more profitable business, a business that's growing, you've got to become better. It starts with you. And again, I learned that in table tennis. It's all about how much effort you put in. What I also learned was the importance of improving relationships, speaking to people, getting on the phone. I was very lucky that I managed to build relationships with some really good players, and I got really good practice. But I also, in my days on playing table tennis, I was really good, I think, at building relationships with the customers. In other words, the people on holiday. I used to get people all the time coming up to me going, "Oh, Steve, it's great to see you again. Do you remember me from last year?" And you got to remember that I was doing like 30 exhibitions a week, probably in front of, I don't know, somewhere around about 500 to 1,000 people, sometimes up to like 6,000 people in the room watching me play table tennis. And so, you times that by 20 weeks, I was being seen by a lot of people, and people expected you to remember who they are. And I was always very good at, going, "Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, you were here last year, weren't you?" "Yes, I was, Steve." "Oh, right." And sometimes genuinely, I always, I don't know whether that was right or wrong. It just made them feel good. I think that I remembered them, or that I said I did, even though I didn't always, to be honest. it made them feel good, and that was a good thing. And so I was just very, very focused on that. And you know what? Some of the time I did remember them. I said, yeah, you came out and played me, didn't you? Because I genuinely remembered that, because we used to do challenges from the crowd and things like that. Okay, where are we? Yeah, another really important thing that I learned in table tennis is that you're only as strong as your weakest link. You're only as strong as your weakest link. It was always the case when you're playing table tennis and people would find out. People would suss you out. They'd work out where you were strong, where you were weak. Right now, I'm back playing, and without any shadow of a doubt, my weakest link in my game right now is my lack of ability to move. I've got a dodgy hip at the moment. I've got some arthritis in my hip, and I'm going for an operation at some point soon. And before that, my biggest weakness right now is my ability to move, without any shadow of a doubt. And if I was playing like professionally now, they'd soon sort that out. My competitors would know that. So, from a business context, what is your biggest weakness? Is it marketing? Is it LinkedIn? Is it lack of videos? What's your biggest weakness, and how can you overcome them? Because if I was a competitor of yours and I saw that you weren't really on LinkedIn and you didn't really use video, they'd be two tools that I could use to raise my game above you, my sales and marketing game, and maybe win more business than you. And lastly, I just wanted to mention something that I learned probably towards the beginning of my marketing career, which, as I said, lasted now coming up to 28 years. And I learned this from a guy called Jay Abraham. Jay says that there are 3 ways of growing a business. Number 1 is to increase the number of customers you've got. And a lot of people put a lot of effort into that. Number 2 is to increase the average transaction value, the average amount of money each customer spends each time they buy from you. And number 3 is to increase the frequency of repurchase. In other words, to get your customers coming back from you, buying again and again. So to visit a supermarket metaphor, I've got to get more people in the door. I've got to get them to fill their baskets more, or fill it with more expensive products. And I've got to get them to come back and buy only from me. And again, in my days in table tennis, we used to supplement our income going around the holiday camps by selling table tennis bats. What did we used to do? We used to try and sell them, the most expensive bat, not in a negative way, but, it really would depend on what standard they were. If there was some young boy or girl wanted to take the game up, we'd sell them a cheap one. If they wanted to improve and they already got a bat, we'd sell them a better bat, and so on, and provide some advice. But we would always, or nearly always, they'd buy a bat and we'd say, so would you like a bat case to go with that? They go, oh yeah, go on then. How much are they? So we'd sell them a bat case, and then we'd say, and some balls. You need some balls, don't you? Oh yeah, we do. So what did we do there? We virtually sold them twice as much as we originally meant, we're going to. They bought the bat for £5, let's say. This is back a few years ago. So we bought the bat for £5. Bat case is £2.50, and a box of balls another £1.50. So we've nearly doubled our sale. And do you know what? So many businesses are not very good at that. Go and have a look at McDonald's and see how good they are. Could I have a Big Mac, please? Yeah, sure. Is that a Big Mac meal? Oh, yeah, go on then. Would you like to go large? Oh, yeah, go on then. I will, yeah. What have they just done? Sold you twice as much as you originally came in and asked for. And that's implying, I just wonder how much that makes for McDonald's. It is, without a doubt, it's millions and millions and millions of pounds of additional unforeseen income. So how's that apply to your business? What could you upsell people to, which is basically the marketing term for that? So increasing the average unit of sale there. So that's it, I think. I don't think there's anything else. No doubt there is, actually. There's probably loads of things, but that's what I've got written down. My time's just about up. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you use it. And I would just offer, if anybody wants a conversation with me, you probably gathered from my style, this is not hard sell. Very happy to spend time with you, helping with your marketing. You can see the website on the background that I've got there. So it's steve-mills.com with my telephone number underneath. Give us a call, drop me a line. If you go to my website, you can find a gold button and just click on it, and that'll give you access to my diary, and you book a time that's convenient for you. Other than that, thank you very much. I do appreciate your time, and I wish you every success in your business going forward. Thank you.